Fair, accurate, to the point. The 10 o'clock news on Q2 starts right now.
Tonight, 3 college students in Havre are identified, and one suspect is behind bars after what's being called a random stabbing on Montana's High Line.
Despite the latest attempt to win his freedom, the Montana Supreme Court hands down another setback to convicted killer Barry Beach.
And Q2's Dustin Kleeman sits down with a Billings educator who had the right formula for Teacher of the Year.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Janelle Slade.
And I'm Jay Cohn. Well, topping the news tonight, in Havre, authorities have now confirmed the names of 3 MSU Northern students who were stabbed more than 70 times combined this past Saturday.
The name of the 17-year-old assailant who allegedly broke into the Havre apartment where the students were staying is also made public. Now, all 3 stabbing victims were flown to Great Falls and later released or transported to other facilities, including here to Billings. Cairo TV News in Seattle says freshman football player 19-year-old Sam Mix was stabbed 45 times. Hospital staff in Seattle say he is in satisfactory condition tonight. 19-year-old Taylor Woolman was transported to Billings with 26 stab wounds. She is in critical condition. And 20-year-old Alicia Schneed was reportedly treated for 7 stab wounds and later released.
Now, the court documents state that early Saturday morning, one of the victims heard a noise at the door to her bedroom, but found nothing when she looked. She later walked into the laundry room and came face to face with the suspect, who reportedly hit her in the face, then stabbed her as he attempted to flee. The attacker then allegedly turned on the other 2 roommates. 17-year-old Justice Lawrence Brown was arrested shortly after the attacks. He was found a few blocks away from the scene, covered in blood, and also matching the descriptions of the suspect.
Now, tonight, Brown is being held in the Cascade County Detention Center in Great Falls on $250,000 bond. He is also awaiting trial on an unrelated rape charge.
Well, it's been a long battle, but convicted killer Barry Beach has hit yet another roadblock.
The Montana Supreme Court denies Beach's request for a new sentencing hearing. Beach's attorney calls today's ruling a devastating blow. Freedom, once again, just out of reach within a 4-3 vote. Now, in question was the legality of Beach's sentence. To clarify, he wasn't contesting guilt. Montana law says district court can give a maximum sentence of 100 years for a homicide offense. Judges also have the power to restrict eligibility for parole.
Now, Beach's argument stems from a 2012 U.S. Supreme Court ruling that found a juvenile cannot be sentenced to life without parole because that would be considered cruel and unusual punishment. Beach was just 17 when popular teenager Kimberly Neese was murdered. 5 years later, he was convicted of the crime, but claims he was framed and has maintained his innocence throughout. In today's ruling, Montana's High Court determined that 2012 Supreme Court ruling does not apply to Beach's case since his final conviction occurred 28 years before the Supreme Court case was decided. Longtime supporter and friend Ziggy Ziegler said the news was deeply disappointing. Also weighing in on the ruling, Beach's lawyer.
I can just see the heartache and the strain that it's going to affect him again. It's just another setback in this case. But he's a very powerful spiritual guy, and he's got his chin up. When I talk to him, I always encourage him to, just take another day at a time.
We felt going into this that we had good arguments. We had a number of courts all around the country siding with our position. And so we felt pretty good. So we're really disappointed. And, once again, it's a 4-3 decision. We've seen that before.
Now, we also reached out to the Attorney General's office today. They declined to comment at this time.
Beach's next best shot at freedom could likely come this fall when his defense team will ask Governor Bullock to grant clemency, that under a new bill passed by the Montana legislature earlier this year.
A Laurel man who used his job as a youth detention counselor to have sex with a 17-year-old inmate sentenced to 5 years with the Montana Department of Corrections.
Brad Johnson sentenced today to 15 years, but 10 years were suspended for 2 counts of sexual intercourse without consent. The 38-year-old, whose wife was pregnant at the time, had sex with a young pregnant ward of the state who was under his supervision at the Ted Lechner Center. Johnson pleaded guilty to the charges back in February.
Investigators discovered more than 5,400 pornographic images on Johnson's cell phone, some child pornography. Now, Johnson told Yellowstone County District Judge Ingrid Gustafson today his failing marriage caused depression, which led him to his lapse in judgment. Gustafson told Johnson that's no excuse and also ordered him to enter sex offender treatment.
Montana's drunk driving laws got a little bit tougher today when Governor Steve Bullock put his signature on a bill that doubles the minimum fine for DUI. House Bill 488, effective immediately. It also helps convict DUI abusers and gives them a reason to get treatment. That bill increases the minimum fine for DUI from $300 to $600 for the first offense. The second offense would go from $600 fine to $1,200. In addition, that law establishes a $300 administrative fee on anyone who refuses to take a breathalyzer test. The bill also increases the likelihood that offenders will get into a 24/7 sobriety program by expanding that program into more Montana counties.
The governor also signing off on a bill that will increase Montana's maximum speed limits and also the fines for the drivers who violate those top speeds. Bullock signed Senate Bill 375 into law Monday. This coming fall, speed limits will climb to 80 miles per hour on stretches of the interstate where the Montana Department of Transportation decides it's safe enough. Drivers who get caught exceeding the higher speed limit will pay more. The bill also doubles the maximum fines from $100 to $200.
Q2's Bob McGuire joining us next to the desk tonight with some intense tornado video, I believe out of the state of Texas, Bob.
That's right. A guy named Roger Hill from Severe Studios had a storm chaser's dream come true. He had the right spot, right time, with the right gear, and this is what he saw. Look at that. That's a big old honking tornado, and you know what? This tornado is outside of Big Spring, Texas. That's right deep in the heart of Texas. It's south of Lubbock, I believe. And as you can see, look at this. It was just an incredible tornado there. And look at how the people are going to run up and take pictures. I don't know if I'd do that or not, but they like to do that in Texas. This is kind of like having the Eagles come and play their concert. But yeah, this is in the middle of nowhere. But no homes, no people were injured or even threatened by the storm. But I think you'll agree it was a severe storm and it was a beautiful sight. Now for us, some of this energy is going to be making its way up into the northern plains in the next couple of days. We'll chat about that coming your way in just a few more minutes.
Beautiful as long as you weren't standing underneath it, I think.
Yes, yes.
Thanks, Bob.
Well, this is Teacher Appreciation Week, and among the thousands of worthy recipients, one Billings teacher who recently was named Montana's Teacher of the Year.
And that honor allowed him to get to the nation's capital last week to meet the president. Q2's Dustin Kleeman spoke with the chemistry teacher over at Senior High to find out what makes him stand out.
Come learn some chemistry. Oh, hi. Hi, don't be afraid of it.
Craig Beal's classroom tends to mimic his own life, and to boil it down in 2 minutes, it's going to be a challenge. So here's what you need to know. He teaches chemistry and biology at Senior High. He has been for a decade. The man travels on research projects in the summer, but it's teaching right here in the Magic City that is his love.
And every single person should have the joy of finding a job that they absolutely love to go to, even if it's the hardest job in the world, which I would consider some days of teaching can be that way.
And because of that, he won Teacher of the Year, one of 55 others across the nation and U.S. territories to do so. Beals, though, he's quick to praise his colleagues.
I don't feel like this award is necessarily about me. I think it's a testament to our system in Montana in general and the amazing teachers that we have. Like, I wanted to grow up to be like them.
Because of that, he's flipping the script. Instead of Teacher of the Year 2015, he's out to make 2015 the Year of the Teacher, with a scroll representing the effort educators put forth 9 months out of the year.
This has been a really good platform for me to sort of spread that message.
But Beals won the award, right? Why?
You know, I don't know why I deserve it. I don't know that I'm any more deserving than a lot of other people.
Just ask his students.
Like, he loves chemistry, and I think that's what kind of makes him different, is because other teachers don't get into their subjects as much as he does.
Okay, so before we run out of time, let's tell you about his trip to D.C. That's him in the back right there. But Beals, he wasn't invisible to the president.
It was my birthday, so I walked in and I said, well, thank you, Mr. President, for planning all of this on my birthday. That was awfully thoughtful of you. And he said, it's your birthday? I said, yeah, it's my birthday. And he said, oh, wait, I did know that. I was planning on cake, but I decided this would be cooler. And I said, yeah, you're right. This is quite a bit cooler. It was a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and I feel very fortunate that I got to represent Montana with the president.
In Billings, I'm Dustin Kleeman, MTN News.
Thanks, Dustin. Great story. You can visit this story to learn more about Beal's initiative for 2015 Year of the Teacher.
Well, still ahead on tonight's 10 o'clock news, from the fields of Montana to the Ivy Leagues. 2 St. Labre students are heading east and taking some Montana pride with them.
And later, amber waves and purple mountains, an inspiration for a man painting flags across America.
And in sports tonight, how Q2's Athlete of the Week juggles track, football, team roping, and bullfighting, all in his senior season.
Fair, accurate, to the point. The 10 o'clock news continues on Q2.
It's a Cinderella story that will make any parent proud.
Q2's Pat Gooden hits the road to Ashland, Montana tonight to bring us the story of two St. Labre High School seniors, now poised for an Ivy League education.
Nestled in the heart of Rosebud County on the plains of southeastern Montana is St. Labre Indian School, located in the quiet community of Ashland. Serving almost 450 students, this Catholic school is making a name for itself. Meet Sophia Schindler and Silver Little Eagle, both seniors at St. Labre Indian School, right here in Ashland. Both typical high school students, gentle, quiet, and somewhat shy demeanors. Both very focused young women, both getting ready to step into the Ivy League world. Sophia to Yale and Silver to Dartmouth. It's a dream come true for two exceptional young women as they make their way to two of the most prestigious colleges across the country. A big step from St. Labre Catholic Indian School.
It's scary. I'm very nervous about it, but I'm also very excited because it's going to be very different from living life in Montana.
Well, it's kind of scary, but I think I could handle it because, like, at Dartmouth, it's like a strong, like, Native community, and I don't know. I think, like, I can handle it.
And handle it they can. Patrick Maloney has known and taught these girls since the 5th grade.
I just tell everyone else to watch out because, I mean, they're to that point where they're just ready to take on anything, both of them. I mean, completely different ways.
For both girls, inspiration begins at home with family as their biggest support.
My grandma's been, like, very motivational to me, and I'm actually, like, the 5th generation to come to Labre, to like graduate from Labre.
They're really great at supporting me, and they've always told me that, you know, I have the capability to do whatever I put my mind to, and so having them back me up has always been big, and I've always wanted to kind of like make them proud because of that. So that was definitely a big part in just applying myself.
Before choosing Yale University, Schindler applied to at least 15 colleges, receiving acceptance from all, a rare occurrence and quite a feat for this small-town girl.
You know, if you're going to get into college, then why not just go for, you know, the big one.
Silver is a proud winner of the Bill Gates Millennium Scholarship, selected out of a pool of 57,000 applicants. So, what advice do these girls have for their peers?
Work hard and don't worry too much because it all pays off.
The advice I would give to anyone, anywhere, is that if you have like a goal, like you have to put work in for it, but it's definitely achievable, and it's going to be great when it happens.
The first in their families to attend Ivy League schools, the girls say the hardest part about being away from home is perhaps a sense of missing out. Although they will miss out on a bit of family time, their hearts remain close to home. In Ashland, Pat Gooden, MTN News.
Thanks, Pat. And we are told close to 85% of St. Labre's graduating seniors have been accepted to college.
And Pat tells us Sophia plans to study music and creative writing. Silver plans to pursue native law.
Well, up next in weather, Bob says he hopes you had a chance to see the sun today.
Because it's going to be tough to spot for the next 5 or 6 days. Those details standing by.
Your accurate forecast from Bob McGuire starts now with live Storm Tracker Doppler on Q2. Fair, accurate, to the point.
That's right, and good evening, everybody. Yeah, we got a couple of sprinkles moving through Billings right now, but not the big thunderstorms we saw down in Texas. In fact, this is the only thunderstorm we could see here. Nice picture that Rachel Lane sent us. This is a thunderstorm that was trying to make its way past Park City, and as you can see, it kind of rolled in and rolled out, and that was about it. Another nice picture from Tim Richardson. I think obviously this is the rim shot there, and you can see kind of a cool narrow shot there, but look at the partly cloudy skies. This must have been before the storm started rolling into the Billings area today. And this picture from Leon Jensen, this is from Yellowstone Lake. Yeah, this is just as the lake ice was starting to break up there right after they opened, and kind of a cool shot. He finally got that to us as well. Meanwhile, currently in Billings, here's what's happening right now. We do have a little light rainfall, 60 degrees. Winds are out of the west at about 8 miles per hour. Not a bad night for us. Elsewhere around the state, temperatures are a little bit cooler out in the west, mainly into the 40s and 50s out there. Back here in eastern Montana, we've had a warmer day here, and the temperatures are just now starting to cool back down into the 60s. 68 over Glasgow, 69 over Jordan. But take a look at our reported highs for the day. All these guys, they were into the 80s today, including Williston, North Dakota. Billings got up to 80 as well, and you'll notice 80 at Havre. In the far west, where we had a cold front most of the day, temperatures there noticeably cooler, only into the 60s and a few low 70s today. Here in Billings, as we said, our high was 80. Your normal high is 64, but we got close to the record. That was 84. Set a long time ago, back in 1936. Record low was 26 back in 67. No precip to talk about today, just a couple of sprinkles falling right now. Nothing measurable yet, so this could be the first rain showers we've had this month. We're, 0 for 5 right now, so we could use a couple scattered showers here. So we need to be at 3,200s for the month. We need to be at over 4 inches for the year. Obviously, we are not, so we're still behind in the precip department. And as we move on, you can see our cold front moving through the area right now. We got some thunderstorms, a couple of hail tracks right here. Here's the way the showers are dropping out from the 3D Doppler radar. You can see the thunderstorms as they made its way into the Billings area just kind of fell apart. We had a couple of sprinkles. The bigger stuff seems to be a little bit farther north tonight, past Roundup, heading up towards the northeastern corner of Montana tonight. We'll pull back and show you that some of these do have some lightning in them, scattered showers and thunderstorms here in the Billings area as well. And so what's going to happen, these thunder showers will continue to slowly but surely make their way out of the region. We'll pull back a little bit farther and show you that this is basically your big line of showers and thunderstorms. Back farther a little bit more, and you can see it's all part of a much bigger system. Jet stream dipping down here. We got a new upper level trough that's taking some of that moisture and throwing it right into our region. At the surface, we have the cold front right through here. That cold front continues to push its way into our region. But right through here, this upper level low is pulling all that moisture. We saw the tornado it did over here in Big Spring. Continues to push its way through Oklahoma City tonight. That low will continue to travel northward into the plains. For us, our cold front will kind of come and meet that, and that low pressure, so we'll sling a lot of moisture into eastern Montana. We'll see cooler temperatures behind that, but we'll see rain in the morning on Wednesday, and then by Thursday, that stuff moves out of the way. We'll see partly to mostly cloudy skies, but generally dry conditions for Billings on Thursday. How much rain are we talking about? For Billings, maybe about 21/100ths of an inch. Other places like Jordan, maybe over an inch of rain, same thing over Glasgow. But for Billings tonight and the rest of the state, temperatures cooling down to the 30s and 40s just about statewide until you get to eastern Montana into the 50s here with some isolated thunder showers. Tomorrow, back to the 60s in most places, be a little bit cooler, maybe some rain showers early on. Here in Billings, spotty thunderstorms tonight down to 50 degrees next 7 days. It'll be like this, 62 degrees on Wednesday with a chance for some thunder showers, and then we cool down to 46 degrees on Saturday. Good chance for rain then, 70%. We start to pull out of it by Tuesday, back up to 69. That's weather. Let's go back to Jay and Janelle.
Okay, thanks, Bob.
Well, up next on Q2, when women, we run, walk, or jog, but kids, they dash.
Yeah, we look at how 150 local kids help get us all into the spirit for the Montana Women's Run on Saturday.
An artist with a patriotic vision is leaving his mark on the Magic City.
Scott Labre is the American flag, says the American flag, is the greatest piece of artwork ever created. His goal is to keep patriotism alive and well. Take a look. The Billings VFW, one of 50 stops on his national tour. That's where he paints the American flag on Veterans Post buildings. From coast to coast, Labre is leaving his love for America.
It's called the Painting Flags Across America Tour, a tribute to our servicemen and women. A special dedication ceremony is set for tomorrow at 2 p.m. at the Billings VFW. That's at 4242 State Avenue.
Labre is traveling the U.S. in his vehicle that he has nicknamed Betsy after Betsy Ross.
Well, the women's run is set for this Saturday, but tonight area kids got the chance to get the festivities started.
The annual Kid Dash taking place at Rocky Mountain College tonight, and more than 150 kids of all age groups getting in on some exercise on this beautiful night. They ran as hard as they could, which you'll see on Saturday as well.
Now tonight also served inspirational moments too. As you can see, Jason Mims with his daughter, Aaliyah, and other parents also cheering on participants in a very successful event.
Nice segue right into sports tonight.
Nice.
A little golf making the news along with, well, a little bit of everything tonight, Scott.
Yeah, Rocky's got a pair of golfers earning honors, and they're both headed to nationals. Jake Hedge, of course, is at regionals for MSUB. We'll update him coming up next. Also, this story, well, his track and field speed comes in handy when he's running from bulls. That's right. Whether you meet Q2's Athlete of the Week, coming up next.
Time now for complete local sports coverage on Q2, Montana's news station.
That's right. Hello, everybody. Time for sports. And here's one we don't see often. An athlete of the week thriving at track and field, football, and bullfighting. Well, that's right. Casey Conlon shows us.
You've seen plenty of high schoolers do this. Yeah! And plenty more do this. But what about this?
Go on, buddy, go on! Go on, bud!
By now, you've realized you haven't seen anyone quite like Tate Rhodes before.
When I was about 7 years old is when I started roping off a horse, so I mean, it was just kind of a family deal that everybody did it, and so I thought might as well I do it.
Amongst everything Rhodes does, it all started with roping, and it really all started at one event with a local star.
I actually went to one of Travis Tryon's roping schools here a couple years ago, and it completely changed my game of roping. I mean, in fact, the first rope when I came back, I ended up winning and pulling a pretty big check, and everything after that just kind of seemed to fall in place.
June will be a busy month for the Custer kid. Rhodes will head to the state high school rodeo finals in Kalispell and play his final football game on his home field at the six-man All-Star game.
I'd seen that it was in Highwood last year, and I knew that it was going to be in Custer this year, so I just worked really hard so I could make that game. These next couple of weeks can't come fast enough to start training for that game.
And what a better way to stay in shape for that game than, say, track and field? Rhodes thought so he joined the team for the first time since 8th grade. All he's done is make the top 10 meet in 3 different events, finishing in the top 4 in both the 100 and the long jump. But what if we told you Rhodes has no interest in pursuing any of the many talents we've just listed? No, apparently they don't get his blood pumping enough. Instead, he wants to do this.
I started that when I was 14 years old. I went to a bull riding down there at the Horse Palace in Laurel. Some of the guys didn't show up, and they'd known that I'd wanted to do it, so they let me jump in there and do it, and ever since then I fell in love with it.
Of course, Mom had to sign off on letting her son go toe-to-toe with a 1,500-pound monster, but once she saw him in the ring, there was no going back.
2 years ago, I went to my first school in Minot, North Dakota, and everything after that just kind of fell in place there as well, you know, and it just kind of took off like this whole career, and I'll hopefully be getting my pro card here this coming fall.
The writing was on the wall the first time Rhodes admitted the following.
I hate to say it, but it kind of passed the whole roping thing after I just kind of fell in love with it. Got hooked down a few times and you figured it would kind of set me away from it, but I just fell right in love with it after that. I mean, I couldn't get enough of it.
So enjoy Tate Rhodes' athletic abilities while you can, because he won't be competing against humans much longer. Casey Conley, Q2 Sports.
Yeah, keep an eye on him, right? As of right now for Tate, it's back to track and field. Districts are this week. 4C's Thursday in Baker, the 6C Friday in Laurel. Meantime, a pair of Rocky golfers have conference awards tonight. Kyla Clancy and Daniel Tomsett were named Frontier Golfers of the Week after both won the conference tournament titles. Clancy's a junior from Park City, of course. She'll now play in the national tournament starting a week from today in Pooler, Georgia. Tomsett is from Scotland. His national tournament's down in Daytona Beach, teeing off 2 weeks from today. And MSUB's Jake Hedge shaved 10 strokes off his opening round score this afternoon, that at regionals. After an 86 yesterday in San Francisco, Hedge rallied back with a 4-over par 76. He climbed 29 spots with that score, now tied for 76th overall. Final round is tomorrow. Hedge is the only MSU Billings golfer to qualify for regionals. And more coaching vacancies at Billings Skyview, this time track and basketball. Larry Newell has resigned from both positions after coaching Skyview's track and field program for 18 years and girls basketball for 5. He led Skyview's guys to their 3rd state track and field title in 2010, and though his girls basketball teams never reached state, Lady Falcons showed progress in hosting a pair of playoff games during his tenure. Search is already underway for new coaches in both sports. Skyview and West playing softball triple headers today up in Great Falls. How about the Bears handing CMR its first conference loss of the season? West then split with Great Falls High. Skyview beat the Bison, but then lost a pair to CMR. They are probably just rolling back into town at about this hour.
All right. Thanks so much, Scott.
Last word in weather tonight, Bob.
Couple of showers in the morning, and then we'll start to dry up a little bit, and we'll get to about 62 degrees by the afternoon tomorrow, but that is a 50% chance for morning showers. Then by the time the weekend gets here, we're talking a good 70% chance for rain on Saturday, 40% on Mother's Day.
That's it for us. Have a great night, everyone.
We'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
Join Jay Cohn and Q2 TV viewers on a scenic New England fall foliage tour, October 4th.